Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fashion Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. I'm here as always with Marcy Carmack and our special guest, Susie Hoimes. Welcome, Susie.
Thank you for
Susie,
inviting me.
thank you. Susie, if you're not familiar with Fashion Coffee Hour, we basically interested in the design, culture, and business of fashion. And I think you fall into probably all those categories because you're a business person, and that's so nice of you to take time out of your busy schedule. And I think you're getting ready to jet off somewhere around the world to show some of these vintage pieces. But Marcy's going to introduce you because Marcy and you have known each other for quite some time, I believe. Marcy?
Yes. Welcome, Susie. And I met Susie close to 20 years ago, right?
I think so.
I bought a Miriam Haskell necklace, and then I just started buying for myself and for clients ever since, because Susie has all the good stuff. And I told Stanley a little bit about vintage costume. You can talk to us a little bit more about it. I told him, that, well, I mean, it's been very popular.
In the last 10 years, you said.
Yeah. Started peaking 10 years ago and is still going strong, correct?
Oh, well, what's exciting is the auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's sort of turned their nose up at vintage costume, but now they're having auctions for it because they realize it's rare and it's art, and there are very few repeats of anything. I very seldom see repeats.
Interesting. And you specialize in Chanel vintage costume?
Yeah.
No, she does.
Yes.
Well, you specialize in Chanel, but you carry everything.
Oh, I have everything. I have all the names in costume jewelry. And they're little pieces of art. A lot of the time, they were the creative brains of the jewelry business. Like Marcel Boucher, he actually worked at, Harry Winston, and he worked at Cartier. And then he started his own jewelry company. So a lot of them, were very talented. And they just didn't have the money that I call it the big boys with the major diamonds. And so a lot of them were just the geniuses of the creative world of the jewelry business.
Yeah. And then tell us a little bit about, in the 30s, 20s and 30s, women would travel. They didn't want to travel with their jewels, so they had costume.
Oh, indeed. And, like Jackie, the Duchess of Windsor had said that the reason she loved costume jewelry was it made her feel young and more hip. Formal jewelry can be a little aging, and she always put it together well. So did Jackie Onassis. So I think a lot of it was fun too, to dress with costume jewelry.
Yeah,
fun colors,
I find
and fun
it fun
design.
Because I have.
It wasn't serious.
What?
It wasn't that serious, It was meant to be fun as well.
Right, and it's bigger than. I mean, I guess there are big pieces of fine jewelry, but not as big as costume. I mean, look at these starfish.
Oh yeah, it's fun and dramatic. Well, there was big pieces. The early Cartier jewelry is spectacular, but it's out of most people's price, points. It's in the millions. But the big Cartier necklaces from 1900 are fabulous, and they inspired a lot of the costume jewelry designers too.
Yeah, I have a pair of Shriner earrings that I bought from you, and they're probably.
Shriner, one of my favorites. 1950s New York company.
And
they were famous for inverting their stones, and the points of the stones were often the wrong way up, it seems, but they were divine.
And Marcy said that's actually a good buy because it's not as well known, but it's really high quality and beautiful designs, and it's a better price, a bigger bang for the buck, I think is the term Marcy used. Susie, you have some samples you want to show us today real quick?
Yes. Well, let me start with one of Marcy's favorites, I know. It's a Chanel Lucite cuff. It was voted by Chanel as the bracelet of the year in 2004. And it's got the iconic logo. And then it's got the camellia on the other side. Coco Chanel loved camellias. I hope everyone can see that.
Did. And is that painted or it's inside the Lucite?
It's inside the Lucite. And, working with Lucite's very toxic. So it's not an easy thing to work with.
That's what people say about working with me, Susie.
That's so funny. Well, let me show you a few Chanel pieces that are very special. These are from the 60s, 50s, 60s, really. They're
Lift them
little
up a bit,
discs.
Susie.
Yes,
There we go.
they're
There.
little discs of poured glass with faux diamonds. They have a classic, most costume earrings are clip-ons. And I actually like that because with big earrings, if you wear posts, they pull your holes down. And good clips should not hurt. They can be adjusted, they can be made smaller, and tighter, looser. And these little discs are all made by hand. And I mean, the workmanship is extraordinary.
Very
So
pretty.
they're little bits of art, really, not just pieces of jewelry. They're little bits of art, handmade.
Yes.
Those are some of my favorites. Then I have an early Chanel necklace from 1930. Again, it's poured glass. It's called Pat de Verre in French. And I mean, the workmanship is incredible on this necklace.
Very
Yeah.
translucent. It's pretty.
It's beautiful.
So like you said, it's a piece of art in its own right. It's not just costume. It's almost the costume jewelry today is almost like imitation of costume jewelry, like where this is actually art in itself.
Oh yes, and the workmanship is exquisite. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just
that's
exquisite.
obvious.
These are later Chanel earrings. I mean, and obviously Coco Chanel's not alive anymore. Under her direction and her friendship with Suzanne Gripois, they made amazing things.
Her friendship with who?
Her name is Suzanne Gripois, was Suzanne Gripois. And then Suzanne Gripois died, her daughter died, and the grandson inherited the business. And tragically, he sort of lost it through, he's got into drugs a little bit. Chanel today owns the name Gripois, but it was actually a separate company
Interesting.
in its heyday. And they were responsible for making all this incredible poured glass jewelry. These are Kenneth J. Lane from the 60s, another big name in costume jewelry.
Yeah, I love him.
I love him too. And I love his 60s earrings. They're light, they're
These are
beautiful
my
quality.
starfish.
Can
The
you really?
starfish at Penny Lane.
Can women really be in love with earrings?
Oh, I am.
Yes.
Oh, I love good earrings. I love them. You can just throw them on and, make an outfit.
Oh no, look at that.
Those
Yeah,
are Kenneth
that's
Lane's
fun.
60s. And the desirable mark is K period, J period, L period.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
those are very pretty. And then I have some Christian Lacroix earrings because he's one of my favorites. And sadly not making jewelry anymore.
Well, somebody could have a heyday with his archives, right?
Yes, well, the company is around in some level. On some level, they make stationery, or I saw some very pretty pillows the other day, Christian Lacroix, but the jewelry's not being made again.
Interesting.
But sadly, when he made such fabulous jewelry that when he went out of business, he was something like $12 million in debt.
Yeah.
Wow.
Going
Well, that's
bankrupt.
the business
Wait,
of
I thought
fashion.
one more thing I think is interesting is that you said Jackie O and somebody else did not wear costume jewelry until Penny Lane.
Yes, the Duchess of Windsor.
Duchess of Windsor.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that was the 60s mainly. And that's what triggered, the whole interest in costume jewelry after
Now,
that.
Susie, we understand you have lots more, you have many more things to show, and we'll take a look at some more of those this evening. But in addition to that, you basically are traveling around the country. So we have people around the country at Fashion Coffee Hour. So where should they look for you? Where would they resource some
Well,
of the things you
given
have for
after
sale?
COVID, my strong presence is on Instagram
Oh, okay.
at MDVII, at Roman numerals for my address in San Francisco. But I did, during the pandemic, close my shop. But I'm building quite a strong presence on my website, www.mdvi.com.
Well, we look forward to seeing some more items tonight at regular Fashion Coffee Hour when we bring back the panel. We got some heavy duty shoppers there, I'm sure. Fashion Coffee Hour is always on Monday evenings at 6 p.m. Central Time. Susie, that'll still be early afternoon for you, but we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much, Susie.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.